Hey everyone, welcome back to the M&R Show. I'm Ron,
Malcolm.
and we back with some NBA topics, man. Malcolm, it's been a crazy start to the year. We got the Lakers looking bad with Westbrook and LeBron and AD. You got the 76ers with Harden and Embiid. It's been a crazy ride overall. I think your Boston's look pretty good. My Wizards ain't been the best, but I mean, it was a little ugly game yesterday. Oh, and the Nets, and then we have the Brooklyn Nets too. So we have the Nets looking wow in their situation. But so we're here to just talk about what the hell is wrong with the Nets, Sixers, and Lakers, Malcolm.
Well, we look at these three teams. Number one, we expect better from the Nets and Sixers. Lakers, we didn't really expect a lot, to be honest.
It didn't.
It's just not like how it was in past seasons where we had expectations and they killed it. They're really just going through the expectations. First, we got to start with the Nets. Number one, the Nets is supposed to be a powerhouse. You got Kyrie and KD averaging over 25 points per game. They have been doing very well. It's just about the other pieces. Ben Simmons, still averaging under 10 points a game, still doesn't have that threat of just shooting the basketball. Everybody thought that since, spreading the floor will give, Ben Simmons the opportunity to drive and be able to make plays. It hasn't happened. Instead, he's just been passing the ball. And I think that's a problem. Defense has been horrible. They're still one of the worst defenses in the league. They're small. Nicholas Claxton, who looked like him for like 2 seconds.
Yeah,
he got a little short haircut. He hasn't gotten bigger since he got that haircut. So that's another thing. So he's still small. Still a mad free throw shooter. And it's like those are so many combination of things that's happened with the Brooklyn Nets. They just got a lot of problems, and I think that Steve Nash might be on his way out because he will be the first fiddle to go, and everything else will continue. Kyrie Irving, he in his media, he loves to say things that he's probably saying anything that has an effect on the team and stuff like that. So there's just a lot of stuff going on in the Nets, and I think that it's hard to win when you have a lot of things going on. I'm a Washington fan, I should know. So, when I look at this Nets team, I just see that at the end of the day, it's so hard to call Nets a threat, period, no matter what they got, when they have so much stuff going on with their organization. Then we're going to go with the Sixers. Now, I want to keep it all short with the Sixers because at the end of the day, we already know what it is. Coaching and no bench at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, we look at James Harden and Joel Embiid, could be two of the best duos in the league. We see a lot of stagnant offense. We see a lot of my turn, your turn. We seeing James Harden turn into the Houston James Harden, which is all good and all, but it's not the James Harden that Philly needs to win. And I think that's going to be a problem. Philly needs Brooklyn James Harden in a way that was able to work with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. They can't get the Houston James Harden because they don't need the Houston James Harden. We feel like like I said, you had Tobias Harris on the team, you got Tyrese Maxey on the team, you got Joel Embiid on the team. You got too many other star players for you to be just straight iso ball. Like this cannot happen. There's no movement going on. This is Doc Rivers' offense for you. Doc Rivers will sit down and just tell you, well, these guys have to improve. But Doc Rivers, you have to coach them to improve. This happens too many times, and I think that is another coach who I feel like is on the way out if he can't do the things he can't be able to do. They've been on a 2-game winning streak now, but at the end of the day, they played against some top teams in the East and the West, and we see how they are compared to them. So that's something that we have to worry about later on in the year. And they have no bench. D'Anthony Melton, they brought him over from Memphis. He's doing worse this year. I mean, he's having like 8 or 9 points a game, and that's a problem. We see how stout this starting lineup is. Well, the full potential it could be, and we just see this bench. And at the end of the day, like you can't be playing Joel Embiid a lot of minutes. You can't be playing James Harden a lot of minutes. Yes, Tyrese Maxey is younger and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, you need to have a bench who can continue to score. And when you can't be able to do that, you won't be able to play against the top teams in the East who are deeper and have more talent on the bench. And that's how I feel about the Sixers. But the Lakers, at the end of the day, I mean, what is there to say? Stuff that we talked about at the beginning of the season, it's the same thing happening still. You talking about the Lakers who have no shooting at all. Ron, they have no shooting. Like
they can't shoot.
AD, we talk about how good AD is, but he doesn't even attempt one 3-point shot last night. We see that they that's why they had to put Russ on the bench, because they can't be able to open floor at all. And with Russ on the bench, yeah, this is going to be a new transition and stuff like that. But in the day, I sometimes feel sorry for Darvin Ham. He came from Milwaukee. Milwaukee has so many 3-point shooters. He has an offense set where you give open looks, open 3-point shots. And as we see, the Lakers are not hitting the open shots. And it's crazy because you use that term, "Oh man, we're gonna keep on shooting." You can't keep on shooting people who can't shoot. That's the point. It's gonna mess up the whole offense. They're one of the best defensive teams in the league. At the end of the day, their offense is so trash, it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, I go right off there. We start with the Lakers. Yeah, I mean, this is a bad team. The Lakers got a win last night. They are now 1-5. They played on Sunday night. They did get a win. So, I mean, let's applaud the 1-5 start. We knew the start would be bad. I didn't think it would be this bad. Then Kirk Hensbury from ESPN drops a stat. Worst since 2017, all jump shooters. Worst bottom 5. Westbrook, the worst jump shooter since that year. Anthony Davis was 5th. So you have 2 of the worst jump shooters in the league on the same team. They decide to keep taking jumpers. It's not going to work. LeBron is cold from 3 right now. Literally, even Kendrick Nunn can't buy a bucket. Even Austin Reeves can't shoot good from 3. It's contagiously how bad you're shooting from 3. Usually when 1 or 2 players are shooting bad from 3, it can affect the morale of a team. Same in baseball, when somebody's hitting bad, next thing you know, your whole lineup is hitting bad. That bad shooting from some of these players has been contagious to the whole team, even the shooters we thought would be good. The Lakers still decided to come into the season with Westbrook. They should have traded him, or at least tried to trade him a little better. Miles Turner went on Woj's podcast, said, "Hey, I know what that brings to the table. I was damn it." Basically said, "Trade for me now." Essentially, me and Buddy, we're ready to leave the Pacers. We're gonna still play because we're getting paid, but we're trying to get out of here. Essentially, what he was trying to say without having this, he can't say that because he'll get fined. So the trade is in the works. They're just we're not giving up the picks. And I guess they're willing to give up the playoffs. And Jeannie Buss, I mean, you doing the Lakers, but you ain't the richest owner. You need to sell some playoff tickets, and they won't be the playoffs with this team. At the end of the day, it's coming back to the money at this point. They don't have the capital of the Clippers. They don't.
2 picks. You think those 2 first-round picks are worth it? You think they're going to be a championship caliber team?
Nah, but at the end of the day, they need money. Let's just start with just the beginning of what a business is. A business is made to make revenue. You gotta go to the playoffs to make playoff revenue. You have no home games in the playoffs. You won't be there. You're missing that's possibly you're missing you're missing impossible 12 to 16 games of extra basketball that you can literally overcharge when people have to pay for it. You won't get any of that. If you get Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, you'll most likely at least be able to contend for the second round at least. I would think. I don't know if you're gonna beat the Warriors or you're beating the Nuggets maybe. But the Clippers, they shouldn't be scaring you right now. Kawhi Leonard's done. I mean, that knee, he's literally degenerative knee. It ain't getting better. So those are some crazy picks. I'm the Pacers. I'd be trying to get those picks too. But the Lakers wanted to get someone to roll. Then we got again the 76ers. We got Embiid and Harden. They're just not playing good together. They have really yet to have a game where I've seen them both be elite in the same game. Period. Every game season, either one of them's gone off and one of them has been shooting less than 40% from the field. That's coaching and play style. I think Harden's been actually passing the ball really well this year, so I don't even think it's him ball hogging, quote unquote, even though he is dribbling the ball a lot. But he's passing it pretty well. I don't know what it is. I have to start all the blame with Doc Rivers there. You have the talent here, Doc. And the bench is bad. It's talent on the bench. I don't care what anybody says. Montrezl Harrell in the playoffs trash. In regular season, he's damn near a superstar. I mean, as a bench center, you can't get Montrezl Harrell to score the ball. Red flag. Niang, this is a sharpshooting big. Playing next to Embiid, again, he is averaging 6 and shooting 45% from 3. Clearly, he can play a little more and be a little better for the team. Daniel House, 3-and-D. He is shooting 27% from 3 right now, so not good. But eventually, I think he can get towards the 35% mark. And then you got DeAnthony Melton. Oh, I mean, me and Mark say he doesn't have the greatest season. He's averaging only 8 points. They probably need him average around 12. But he's shooting 48 from the field, 39 from 3. He has yet to miss a free throw. Again, the talent is there. This is Doc Rivers. This is your last rodeo, buddy. Like, you better get it clicking, because this is it. I'm talking about no assistant coaching jobs, nothing. Because like at least D'Antoni can rely on, I'm an offensive genius and I can always get a team because of the offense. You have nothing to fall back on. This is John Harbaugh-esque. Like, if this goes bad, what am I hiring you for leadership now? Like, come on. These are subjective traits based on who the owner is. So Doc Rivers, you got to get this ball rolling. The last team, Najee's favorite team. We have the Brooklyn Nets. Yeah. If all my Ben Simmons stock, I am giving that back. I don't want my name associated with you, bro. I can't. I'm sorry. As a person, still, I'm even throwing that stock in because he's giving me weird people vibes at this point. Like, the interviews, they look horrible. Again, his career high, his season high is 9 points. So, I mean, take what you want. I mean, out of that, like 9 points is your best game, bro. The court is wide open for you. Like, literally, Kyrie, Durant, like they are missing Seth Curry, who I guess is now the new Steph Curry, because the Brooklyn Nets fans are literally acting like he makes that big of a difference. He makes a difference, yes. He's not that good. He's not an all-star. He's not even borderline all-star. He's a good role player that can shoot the three and can run a pick and roll, yes. He's not going to change his roster. His roster cannot defend. Ben Simmons is the only defender. He's fouled out like, what, 3 games out? Because he's their only guy. They put him on every hard matchup. He never sleeps on defense. Like, never sleeps. So he's been elite on that end. No one else can defend. Durant hasn't been that good this year. Kyrie, we know damn well he's not defending in the regular season. Joe Harris, we know damn well he's not defending the regular season. Claxton is your typical rim runner that can't actually guard another center, though. He can block shots and, somewhat guard the rim for guards coming down. He's not actually, he's incapable of stopping an actual good center like an Embiid, a Jokic, DeAndre Ayton, any of these guys. He has absolutely no shot. He does not have the literal body frame to be able to contend with those guys. He just doesn't. So his defensive impact is going to be limited because he can like somewhat protect the rim, but he can't guard his own position well. So where the Nets go from here, I don't know. Like Mark said, Steve Nash, I've been since day one, thought he should have been hired. He hasn't proved me wrong yet. I've seen nothing that I'm like, oh, this guy's the guy. So I'm just worried about the Nets. I'm worried about all these teams, but I think the Sixers have the chance to turn it around. They have the talent. The Lakers and then the Nets, though. The Nets will probably make the playoffs. But I can see a first round exit again. I'm sorry. The Lakers, I don't even see them making the playoffs at all, realistically.
This is the point where I think the Lakers are really high. To be honest, let's just throw the Lakers out. We already know, like, the Lakers.
This is for the fans. There's a lot of Lakers fans to watch this.
You're right. That be stressed out and everything. You're right. It's crazy. And, I like people, especially people who, like, for the first win, I don't know how people can be so excited. Like, at the end of the day, it's just like, we got the win, but Lord have mercy, we're 1-5. Like, there's just a lot of stress to be carried up there. But let's look at the Nets and Sixers, to be honest, before we can let go.
Yeah.
Like, for the Sixers, though, it's just an ongoing factor when we look at Doc Rivers. Number one, Doc Rivers doesn't like young guys. I just don't understand. He likes his veterans. He doesn't trust young guys. This has been happening ever since he's been in Boston. He says, forget young guys. And it's crazy because he was in Orlando coaching up young guys, and then he went to Boston, and he just didn't want anything with young guys, and then he continued on. But at the end of the day, you look at guys like Niang, who's a three-point shooter that can spread the floor.
Yeah, spread the floor.
You talk about Montrez, see what can he be able to do. I thought that he's a different dynamic if you add him with a guy like James Harden. And you see, like, the bench is nothing. Like, to be honest, the bench hasn't been working out. And just my point is, just to expect Doc Rivers to switch things up is really funny, and it's just a joke at this point. Because at the end of the day, we know it's going to be the same thing over and over and over again. We haven't seen much since Boston. And to be honest, there's been cracks in Boston too. If me looking back over everything, there's been a lot of cracks in Boston where there's things that we should have won, but we didn't because of coaching and the way it was. But we thought it was just because we were old. But at the end of the day, coaching had a lot to do with it. So to think that Doc Rivers is just going to miraculously start changing the way he has when he really hasn't is just crazy. I just think that the Sixers are always going to be a threat, but they're not going to do what they need to do to be over the hump. The Nets, the only reason I have is because look at a guy like Ben Simmons. Yes, he's been trash, but the guy hasn't played in a long time, you know. And for some reason in the back of my mind, I'm not saying that Ben Simmons will become this even a 15 point per game type of threat. I'm thinking like a 13 point per game threat, somebody who can be able to attack the floor. And I think that he has the opportunity to be able to do that with more, you know, run and stuff like that to make this Nets team more dangerous. I just think that the Nets have a better opportunity to turn things around than a team like Philly, who we know what the coach is. He has a whole receipt of things that he's done in the past. And I think that Steve Nash as a coach, he's paying for his job right now. And you can see it on the sidelines. He's trying to get these guys going on. It's just that, you know, there's a lot of questions, a lot of stuff going on in Brooklyn where it's just hard to win.
Yeah. We've talked enough about the Los Angeles Lakers. I think enough has been said. The Brooklyn Nets, again, and they don't have enough defense to contend for a championship. They are not a contender, period. You're not going to win with that level of defensive talent. It's just not there. It will not be coming there. They've spent all their money. They've traded a lot of resources. It's just not going to happen. And they probably should get Kyrie Irving before he walks for nothing. I would at least trade the guy before, because this is his last year on the team. I would get something for this at this point. That's just my personal opinion. And Nash, we can turn on this is for the TikTok. I would fire Steve Nash and Doc Rivers before the All-Star break if their teams are not at least 5 to 10 games over 500. I would, personally. The teams have enough talent to have that type of record. Doesn't even mean they're the best teams in the league. You can't be 5, 10 games over 500 with these type of rosters that you chose. Nash is an offensive guy even when he played. So at least that's the offense should look well. At least that. Doc Rivers, again, this team is like at least 8 deep, maybe 9 if Shake Milton can somehow get back to what he used to be somewhat. If that team can't be 5, 10 games over 500, Sam Cassell's on that bench. He's waited a lot of years to have his shot. A lot of years. This might be Sam Cassell's year to hop off that bench and start really coaching this team. Any final words, Malcolm?
Nah, I'm excited to see this. Like I said, this is only game 6 or 7
yes.
of an 8-game season. So, you know, anything can happen throughout the whole stretch. So I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, well, again, if you wherever you're listening this on, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment. Again, we're trying to grow the page. Dropping 2 episodes a week. Took a little break last week, but we're back with a lot of content. Malcolm.
Yeah, most definitely. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and on Twitter. Instagram at Malcolm Ron Network, and on Twitter at Malcolm Ron Show. Post a lot of things. Make sure y'all know. All right.
All right.